This is a typical conversation between me and Rachel Eubanks last year. Me. Rachel, I just can't do this anymore. How do you find the maximum height reached by the object in this projectile problem? Rachel, I honestly don't know. The both of us. Victoria. Yes, it is no secret that Victoria Ouyang is extremely intelligent, and that is probably your first thought when you hear her name. However, Victoria's intelligence and wisdom are only a couple of reasons why I admire her so much. I love Victoria. Besides getting me through physics last year and making my junior year more bearable, she is truly one of the most gentle souls I have ever met. She is kind, compassionate, hardworking, a loyal friend, and has the most contagious laugh I have ever heard. As many of you know, I laugh at pretty much everything, no matter how dumb it actually is. Sometimes I'm able to contain it, but if I'm anywhere near Victoria and she starts laughing, it's over. I'm really going to miss hearing "Hey Sister" in the halls and being able to see the new stuffed animal she brings to school every day next year. Oh, actually, this is Zed. There we go. Okay. Victoria is one of a kind, and it would do you all some good if you tried to be like her in even the smallest way. Now, I am ready to hear what she has to say, so without further delay, I present to you Victoria Ouyang.
I have played both the piano and violin since I was 5. The entire floor of my house is carpeted, and there's no way that shoes will ever be allowed inside. I aspire to be a doctor or a lawyer, and my favorite subject in school is math. I have strict parents, I hate spending money, and my favorite kitchen appliance is the rice cooker. I am a terrible driver, and my favorite pastime is studying. Now, here's my question. How long did it take all of you to figure out I was joking? Growing up in the South my entire life, I've had trouble harmonizing my Chinese heritage with my American self. For me, this meant that I've always been self-conscious about doing well in school because people would just say that it's because I'm Asian and not because I actually worked hard. It means that I've always ducked my head in embarrassment whenever a class starts to discuss anything related to China, fearing that my peers would look at me and ask me questions. These effects were intensified as a result of where I live and the interactions I face with other people. Now, don't get me wrong, the vast majority of people are genuinely kind individuals with good intentions, but a large percentage of people I meet are just a little bit unaware. Don't get me started on how many times people have confused me with another Asian person, even when the other Asian person looks absolutely nothing like me. Last week, I was standing in line at Panera when a woman behind me says, "Excuse me, but where are you from?" This is my favorite question, and I know just how to answer, so I reply, "I'm from Memphis." I could sense that wasn't the answer she expected, so she continues asking me questions. "What is your nationality?" At this point, I know what she wants me to say, but I wasn't going to make this easy for her, so I tell her the truth. I'm American. Now she's frustrated. Her eyes go wide as she exclaims, No, I mean, where is your family from?" Now, just as an FYI for everyone here, this is probably the safest strategy, although the question does get old after a while. It turns out this was all a ploy for her to show off the Mandarin that she'd been learning and give... And then she gave me a pamphlet promoting some Christian app. Although I do find a way to chuckle at these interactions, I always felt embarrassed when I had to say out loud what people wanted me to say. I'm Chinese. I wanted to distance myself from the Asian stereotype as much as I could. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Look at me. That plan didn't exactly work out. I am good at math, I do mock trial, I study a lot. But still, I don't know if I am this way because I have conformed to the stereotypes or because this is who I am. The truth is, Asian Americans are the model minority. I've heard people use our success as a way to pit us against other people of color as justification that racism doesn't exist. But what does this mean for us Asian Americans? It means that we're not similar enough to be accepted, but not different enough to be loathed. A few months back, I, along with the senior swimmers, was taking pictures for those fancy athletics posters you see around the school. I'm already feeling pretty vulnerable because I'm just wearing a swimsuit and Crocs. Then the photographer comes up to me and tells me a beautiful and touching story about how his daughter was adopted from China and is now finding her way adjusting in America. What I didn't expect, though, was this man telling me how he loves seeing people like me. He equated seeing people like me to being excited to see a new breed of puppy. I was admittedly hurt by this interaction, but I kept quiet. I didn't know how to speak up because it's at the risk of being told I'm too sensitive and it's just not worth it. But it is worth it, and it's taken me a long time to be courageous and correct those who alienate me based on my appearance. I'm 17 years old, and there's so much of the world I've yet to learn. But what I do know is that it is hard to admit when we're wrong. It's tough to realize that we may be part of the problem. The problem that looks like you asking your Asian classmates for help based on your presumptions, and me labeling you based on your hydro flasks and scrunchies. I'm not up here to tell you how to live your lives. I just want to advise all of you to be mindful of your curiosity. Don't ask questions for the sake of separating people from you. Get to know each other not as a group of assumptions, but as individuals. My name is Victoria. I do play the piano, but definitely not the violin. My favorite Chinese food is Panda Express. I'm not a bad driver, but Popper still manages to scare me. I love math, but I also love history and Latin. I'm a little bit Chinese, a little bit American, and a big part both. Thank you.